Alien Romulus. That's right, folks. A new Alien film is in theaters. It's been. When was Covenant? 2017? Was it that long ago? It's been a minute. Yeah, this is like a primary science fiction franchise, if there ever was one, literally called Alien, a thing that is sci fi. And the franchise has kind of been in a weird place. This is the first theatrically released Alien film. It's actually like the first Alien film since the Fox and Disney merger, so this is under the 20th Century banner, and it's from Fede Alvarez, a horror director who is pretty good. I will never sit here and say Fede Alvarez is my favorite director, but I don't hate him. I like the stuff he makes. I think he's very talented. He is very aware of himself and the stuff he wants to make, and you can tell he likes Alien. So this is kind of exciting. It's cool. We're putting a lot of money into a big blockbuster that's a horror movie based on a franchise that's been kind of in decline for a while. I don't really get to talk about Alien on this channel. I like it. I've always been a fan of Alien. In fact, to prove I'm a fan of Alien, here's the NECA Alien Queen. I bought this the other day. I don't know why. I just saw it on sale. I'm like, hey, Alien Queen. I have the power loader just off screen too. I bought that years ago, never opened it. Now I can actually set up the scene from Aliens. I like Aliens. Do I like Predator more? I don't know. I like Planet of the Apes more. But I like this franchise enough. I think when it does something cool, it's exciting. It's also one of the few franchises, and maybe saying one of the few franchises it's wrong. It's one of those franchises where it's really hard to want to see another adaptation of because you kind of just nailed it the first time. I know it's such a cliche thing to say, like, well, the first one is so good, how could you ever top the first one? The first one's one of the greatest films ever made. I think we can all say it's in the lexicon for like one of the top 50 or top 100 films ever made in any genre, whether that be sci-fi or horror or low budget or just ever. It is a masterpiece. So anytime somebody wants to try it again, why would you want to? Like, personally, I can't think of any idea I could have for an Alien movie that would top anything that's ever been made in an Alien movie. You know, even like the bad ones, like Alien 3 or Alien Resurrection, depending on what you feel about Prometheus or Alien Covenant, I couldn't come up with an idea that's more exciting than those. I commend Fede Alvarez for being like, I'll direct one. What the hell? I mean, it's better me, somebody who cares about the property and is wanting to go back to the old school roots, than somebody who's just going to butcher it, whatever, do something that's very anti-Ridley Scott. We're in an era where we're going to get an Alien movie no matter who makes it. That's just where we are. Anything could happen, an Alien movie's going to be made. They made a Predator movie, didn't go to theaters. They made a Planet of the Apes movie. These are the properties that Disney got from Fox, so they're going to make them. So Alien Romulus is here. It's a very interesting movie, I'll say that. In a lot of very kind of boring ways. Is it interesting? I don't think I like it too much. The more I've been sitting down after watching it just to think about it, the more I'm just like, okay, I know everything we're doing here. I'm glad it exists and we did it. But I'm not walking away thinking this franchise has found its new savior. I'm not walking away thinking this franchise is getting out of its rut, if you could say it's in a rut. I don't think it's adding anything to the mythos aside from, well, we're scary again. And it's not really that scary. It's very interesting, isn't it? It really is trying to play with the themes of the original movie, which is fine. Like, that movie is about people finding a thing, stuff happens to them on a ship. That is a scary concept, and you could play with it a lot. And because Alien, the original film, kind of cemented that, genre or that identity in film, even when you are homaging it within the same genre, it feels hollow because we already seen the best interpretation that you could do of this. So doing it again, even with the way we make movies now, it's never going to feel as interesting as your first attempt, which is why I find it so amazing we went so truthful to the actual story of Alien in this movie. We added a couple things. There is this flavor of escaping a world, which is It's one of my fundamental flaws of this movie, and I know why it happened. You know, you can listen to Fede Alvarez talk about the casting process and how he believes, like, when you're making a horror movie, it's better to have a younger cast because then your audience is going to feel more when that character dies. I feel the opposite in terms of Alien. I think the success of the first Alien movie from Ridley Scott is a lot of just, these are old character actors who are playing co-workers. There's this level of connection, but they don't, like, you know, have these big emotional arcs or epics or need to feel anything towards each other. So it's just a sense that they just got to go about their lives. Like, it's not like they're escaping anything. They're just kind of like trapped in this shitty job. Where this movie takes what that idea could be and is like, these are kids trapped on a planet that their parents put them on. They want to escape and see the rest of the world and learn something better for themselves. And they're going to do that by hijacking a ship somewhere. Very weird. It's a very weird element to play into this franchise. Not that it's a bad thing. It's just more optimistic than what Aliens used to. I think Aliens has always presented as a very nihilistic franchise, where it's like, even if you survive, the corporation's going to screw you over, and there's creatures that exist in the world. This is more like a Ridley Scott concept, but there are creatures in the world that hate you because of what you did to God, and God hates you, and he's going to make you cry and suffer, and there's no escape from the dread of existence because everything is just crushing and defeatful, and you can't escape it. And that's what this franchise is. It's like, what if an unkillable machine just ruined your day at work? So there is something to be said about, like, the optimism of these kids trying to escape and then being crushed by everything, but it never presents itself as anything less than, well, they're kids. They're not going to act right. There's no, like, real choices they have to make opposed from just being choices a young person would make. And I don't know, it just doesn't mesh well with this universe. Everyone in an Alien movie should feel like they're tired, not like excited. You know, that's how I feel. And this is not that. which that's not a thing I'm going to worry about because this movie is presenting as like a younger crew. And our younger characters, they're all pretty good. This is a Kylie Spaney-led joint. She's having a great year, great couple of years. Priscilla was fantastic. Civil War is fantastic. 2 roles I think she's fantastic in. This is a very strong role for her. She plays, I guess you could say, the lead. It's not like a Ripley. Her name is Rain, I believe that's her name. Rain Carradine, something like that. She transforms herself a lot. She's kind of like our final girl through a lot of this. Very interesting to see what she can do. It's kind of fun. Like, she does this well. I see a strong career ahead for her because she's also got good facial expressions. I would say she had like the best like facial expressions in this movie if she wasn't acting next to Isabella Massard, who just has the most bulging eyes of any young actress you see today. Like, it's crazy. she doesn't get a lot to do in this movie, which is fine. The stuff she's asked to do, she does great because you're watching like the biggest eyes you've ever seen on a person just freak out. She gets a lot of like the good screams in too, which is incredible. I really dig that. And our supporting cast just playing off those 2 girls is truly incredible. I really like David Johnson, which I know a lot of people have been singing his praises to. That is a hard performance to nail. And I think for the most part, that was a successful performance. And there's a couple other guys, they're indispensable. It's like, well, do we have a young actor who can just be a dick or be kind of cool or be kind of tough? They do fine. They're not the standouts, not that they needed to be. They are just kind of there for fodder, and that makes sense. And if you're going into this expecting like it to not be Alien, it's Alien. It's Alien. Like, we do what you would do with a modern interpretation of Alien, you know? There's bigger things. We got better effects. But the practical effects look really good. I really like the way the practical effects look in this movie. It just makes it feel more lived in and cool. I appreciate that. Bigger ship than the Nostromo. That's all I'll say. We're not going to get too much into spoilers of this movie. There is some stuff that's very controversial about maybe characters or people who have worked in previous Alien movies that we resurrect digitally for this film. If you don't know anything about that, you could probably like guess through conjecture the actor who we might digitally make for a movie, depending on the timeline this is set in. It's it sucks, and I wish they didn't do it. Do I completely see the point of view and reasoning why they would? If you get, permission from the estate. I mean, this character doesn't need to look human in every capacity, but it is annoying, and it does ruin a good majority of the movie for a bit. Do we make reference to lines that they say in other Alien movies? Yeah, we do. Why would these characters know that? I don't know. But they do. And the xenomorphs, they're fun. Like, there's nothing shocking, which might be another detriment to this movie. You want to be a horror movie? Well, we've all seen Alien. We know how these types of movies play out, so you can't really change the horror element of the movie until you can, which is kind of why this movie gets bumped up a star for me, is because there's one thing in the third act that makes me go, oh, you had an original idea for Alien. They let you do it. It's genuinely gross and terrifying. Thank you for doing an actual idea here, as opposed to hitting the beats of a Jurassic World. Which, when I look on the way we do Lego sequels these days, I am thinking a lot of Jurassic World, where it's really stupid that we did this again, isn't it? And that's kind of how I feel about Alien Romulus, where you can see the gears turning behind the scenes. Is are we really just doing this again, but it's bigger and looks more crisp? Which is kind of what we're doing here. People respond to the actions being had in the same way. We get exposition delivered in the same way. Except now we can make things look digital and a little cleaner than we did in the 70s. So that's a win, I suppose. It's very interesting. I wonder if you are a hardcore Alien fan. Look, I have the Alien Queen. I'm not going to sit here and tell you I'm the biggest fan in the world. I like a cool design of a weird looking thing. I wonder if this is your franchise. If you feel this is a success. Is this what you wanted from this franchise? Is this what this franchise needed? Or was going more nihilistic in the direction that Ridley Scott was going earlier, where this should have went? It's very weird. It's very strange. It's not much of anything. I saw this last night, and by the time I'm recording this, I really don't feel any of it stayed with me, on a massive scale. It kind of washed over me. I'm okay, yep, I know all this. Yeah, it looks good. That's something. But if this is all Alien can be, I guess that's good enough. Maybe we don't need Alien to be anything more than what this was. Or maybe we do. I don't know. I don't know how people respond to Alien anymore. What made Prey work was changing up the format that what those movies could be. But this is retreading a lot of ground for Alien and sticking true to the corporation's going to screw you over. There's no escape from the dread, except now these kids are just a little bit more hopeful of something better. And maybe that hopefulness really just shines a light on how annoying it is when we see hope in an Alien movie. I don't know. It's very strange. Not a movie I thoroughly enjoyed, but there was enough there towards the third act even where I was satisfied. Satisfied enough. So, Alien Romulus, I am going to give a 6 out of 10. Now, thank you all for watching this review. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. As always, you can check me out on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. And of course, I will catch you in the next one. Have fun. Stay safe. Good luck.